So what we have in front of us right now is Texture, which is a multi-effect plugin that you can use on different parts of your composition. And it's really cool. It's a really different type of multi-effect plugin. I thought it would be like Effectrix. This piece that I wrote here is more or less in the spirit of Halloween, if not in like suspense and horror. And I know it's a little different from what I do, but it's in the spirit of Ennio Morricone, which is one of my favorite composers. He's an Italian composer, of course, and he has done really dope stuff, the good and the bad and the ugly, of course, Western films and all that. So I'm just channeling my inner spirit in that, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to play it without texture on, and then I'm going to introduce it in between the composition. So here we go. It's on right now. So what I'm doing right now is I'm soloing it because I want y'all to hear the actual string. The string itself is just a string, of course, high little violin, and you know, just to give an added suspense to it, you can do things like this with texture, and it will add a bass to it. This is called Sinister, the preset. So with it off, you can tell that it can do a ton of stuff that's really cool. Now, with this particular plugin here, it has a ton of factory presets here. Right now, I was utilizing the bass adder plugins right here. Of course, you know, if I was to play it again, I still have that high string solo. So what I was utilizing out of texture was this particular area right here, which has all of the samples here. So if I was to somehow default it here, go ahead and hit reset the default to set it to nothing. And now you can see it set itself to digital white noise. Now, the thing about it, of course, is these samples right here, and it has a ton of samples. There is another plugin that actually does the same thing, that which I will do in a versus video. Of course, the link will be in the description box if you're interested in it so far. But you know, I'm going to compare those two a little later. But this one has a ton of different samples, including that of male vocals. Which you can control with pitch and color. So it's here. You also have a modulation section, which you could turn off if you don't want to use any modulation. But of course, you can choose the sync or not the speed. And then you can set what you want to modulate. So this, you can think of this as like a mod matrix if you're very familiar with synthesis. I got to say it like cuckoo, synthesis. But with synthesis there, and you also can change what the LFO shape will be if you don't really like the LFO shape. Of course, you have the speed as well. And again, you can sync it to the BPM, and of course, affect the color as well, which and you can set it to the cutoff, so you can do a whole bunch of random stuff to your sound that you are using right here, which is the main area, which is the texture. Now, of course, maybe you might like that sound, but you think it's too loud. Of course, you have a mix knob as well, so you can mix things in. Let's bring the rest of that composition in. And yeah, so many things came to my mind when I saw this, because what I really want to do with this is just like layer it with drums and possibly get some cool stuff. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and stop all of the madness here, and I'm gonna go and pull up my drum rack, which has texture as well, and I am going to experiment with some of the presets, of course, and I'm gonna go ahead and unsolo, and let's go ahead and hear what this baby can do. So this is the regular drum set right here. That's how it sounds like. I'm gonna be nice enough to turn that down while I'm doing this. And let's go ahead and go through some of the presets and see what we can do. So this is really cool. The main thing that makes this really cool is the fact that you can probably make some percussive stuff in between, like your composition. So this is really ideal for different types of stuff, or just make some different drums out of it as well. As you can see, it does some really crazy stuff. Control that. Let's mix it a little bit. So what if we don't want to do that and we want to just put this on like some hi-hats and stuff and get some cool percussive stuff out of your hi-hats? Well, let's see how that sounds, and we'll get with that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into percussive, and I am going to select gyro, and we're gonna put this on the hi-hats here. I'm gonna initiate the hi-hats. Let's hear, like just a regular drum line, and let's go. See, these are regular hi-hats here, or more than regular from the average, I guess. But perhaps you like using hi-hats, but perhaps you just like using hi-hats or something like that, and you just want to sub out hi-hats for gyros or something like that. Well, maybe you don't want to do that. Perhaps you might want to do this right here. Yeah, so you can get some really cool stuff out of this. Even tambourines there. And then you could also EQ your texture area. Maybe it might have a little bit too much high end or something like that. You could just bring it down, of course. And this is a parametric EQ, so that's really cool, very modern. And you also can affect, like, the curve itself. As you can see, you have a low pass curves and you have a peak curve, and and then just do what you want here. But anyways, so moving forward from there, yeah, it's a really decent tool. I mean, just bringing any other element in, I guess I just bring in like the typical 808 or something like that and see how that works for you. And so that's pretty cool. So what about like melodic tones and stuff like that? So what can it do melodically over some melodies? Well, per se, you just don't want to. Maybe you just want to add something to your beginning part of your track or something like that, and you want to automate texture to do like a riser. You can definitely do that as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select a specific part. I'm going to select a specific preset here, and I'm going to go to risers, and let's hear what we got. As you can see, you can put risers in there. So you have uh infinite amount of things that you could do. It's all about your imagination there. Clap, 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 tap, 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 tap. And you just, I don't know what made me do that. But yeah, textures is really dope. It was one of the things that I was just like, I wouldn't mind checking it out. It got me with the multi-effect thing. So, just let me know in the comment section of what things that you might like about it, and what do you think, what things that you don't like about it, because I can definitely talk for days about something like this. I mean, for something that has this many samples that you can mess with, and then you can, you could just do like some lo-fi stuff as well. So it has, potential if you want to do lo-fi. This is all about, again, how you're gonna apply certain things. There are, well, of course, with this right here, I want, let me see, it was a preset I saw or was messing with yesterday. This one is it right here. So perhaps you might not be all that crazy with your sound design, but you want something extra for your production or for your pad or something like that. Well, of course, you can add like female voicing and all that. Of course, if this happens to be a F major chord, F major chord is playing, so it does fit with the female sung F4. So yeah, it's a really cool tool. So just let me know how you feel, guys. I think this is a really strong tool, something that I probably would use a lot, something that definitely hits a different kind of market, of course, more for like sound designers or people that just want to add something more to their production that either could be for film, it could be for just your basic stuff, popular music, or even just creating some different sounding drums or percussive stuff. So yeah, that's what it is.